Apollo. Oh, we shouldn't be singing that. They didn't give us no money. They didn't give us no
But they
money.
will
All
soon.
about the royalties. All about the royalties.
Manifest it in the name of Jesus Cristo.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my goodness. So what's going on, guys? What is up? What's going on in your lives? What's happening?
Life is good.
Yeah, life is great.
Good. Life is real good. I mean, I'm a little tired, but I'm with my people, so I gotta perk you up.
Yeah, we gotta perk you up. We appreciate you taking time out of your sleep schedule to spend time with us on this here Sunday.
Because Gerald needs to get his sleep now. Come on now.
He needs his beauty
That's
rest.
what keeps the good side good. You know what I mean?
Maurice, what is your what's happening? Honey, what's this? What's happening? What's going on?
I'm just listening to you guys talk about a bunch of nothing.
But we have to look at a bunch of nothing. So
you must be looking in the mirror. So
I am not.
Oh man, this is gonna be great.
This is how we get it started. This is how we get it popping. So anybody else got anything going on in their amazing, wonderful lives? I mean, amid of what's going on in the world. Why do you seem so stumped? Like
what are you doing? It's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm like, we live, right? We on. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? This is like going off script. This is she's in her element right now.
I see. She's doing this on purpose. She's doing this on purpose.
Element right now.
I'm chilling in the black. Go on ahead. Y'all go on right on ahead.
Maurice is stressed. When did you take a sip of
That's
Maurice?
when you have the rocks before the show happens, right?
What's easing your pain in this moment?
Well, actually, this is not. There are no rocks, but I'm drinking white Henny, which is not available in this country.
Ooh. Wow. Did you smuggle it in?
No, you could just buy it and just have it here, but it's just not available here, which is pretty smooth. So white Henny and ginger ale, which I don't need because I don't feel well. Yesterday I actually got, Yesterday I got the booster shot, and I was kind of like, as I was walking to get it, I was like, do I want to do this? Because I could not feel good for a couple of days. So anyway, that's what happened when I woke up this morning. I didn't feel good. I was like,
how many boosters did you get? Is this your first one or your second one?
Well, it's well, I got Pfizer, so it's shot number 1, shot number 2, and this is the first booster shot, so it's the third shot.
Okay. All right. So that's what you're doing with your life. All right. So that's wonderful. You got boosted. What's up, everybody? Because we could go on and talk about this for a long time. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Truth on the Rocks.
Truth on the Rocks. What kind of rocks it is today?
I want the rocks that Nim had. Whatever Nim is having, I want that.
It may not be drinking rocks.
I'm gonna be throwing them real soon. All right. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us tonight. Please remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe to all things that we are doing at Truth on the Rocks. And feel free to comment tonight because we are live, baby. So as I mentioned before, I'm 1/4 a member of Truth on the Rocks, and my name is Nnemdia Anderson.
And I am Maurice Griffin.
And you all already know who this is, the Black Psychologist. I'm Gerald, the good side one.
And I am Renata Del Carmen. Oh my God, what an opening. I'm so excited to be here. What have you guys been up to? We know Maurice has been getting vaccinated and things. And then what are you up to this week?
Well, my birthday is actually coming up. So
birthday!
I'm living and surviving to the good old ripe age of 42. I'm very excited about that. I'm also doing a girlfriend experience this weekend to help celebrate my birthday. But what's most important is I sent an invite to you guys and none of you guys responded. But we're going to talk about that behind the scenes. Gerald did. You did. You did.
Too.
Okay. All right.
I think all of us loved it.
Okay.
We coming to celebrate.
I'm going to keep that same energy at your funeral. We're all after your booster shot. Okay.
Father help.
Maurice.
Lord help. This is why we gotta pray with everybody. Everybody has to be
next time you're right. We need to pray with everybody present.
Oh my God.
I feel attacked. So good.
Maurice, we didn't have a to talk about our excursion that Nnemdia and Gerald.
You just Teddy Riley'd us. I don't know what you said. You just Teddy Riley'd us. I don't know what you said.
She got her booster on my
I don't know what you just said.
We cannot be this childish. We got company, y'all. We got a live audience.
Well, can you hear me now?
Jesus.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, great. I'm back. Oh, but the interwebs are working against us on tonight.
Yes.
Maurice, do you want to share about our little excursion that Gerald and Nnemdia ditched us on?
Oh my goodness.
That is true. Everyone was invited, including the producer of this show, Rondell Westcott.
Wow.
I guess everyone else was booked and busy.
Everything today. So we name dropping and everything today. Huh?
I don't know why everybody choosing violence tonight.
Today, right?
Some kind of episode. We only 7 minutes in, and the people already shots are fired. Okay, but a couple of weeks ago we went to Wendy Williams' show, and it was, of course, without Wendy Williams because she's on hiatus. So, Renata, what did you think about it while we were there? Like, missing the main ingredient.
It's kind of interesting. I honestly have not really engaged the show on television, but was excited to go see Sherry because I think she's amazing. She's funny, and she definitely captivates the audience. But it was still kind of weird not to have Wendy there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted because I can hear Rondell on the phone. Rondell, we can hear you. We're live. They're doing the show down here. I'm like, what is going on? So anyway, I'm sorry. What did you just say? I missed it.
Sherry is amazing.
Sherry
not to have Wendy there. But
yeah, Sherry is amazing. You're right about that.
Goodness.
And what I was telling you guys earlier is what I love about going to talk shows. I've been to a few. Is just seeing how well it's ran. Like everybody knows what they're supposed to do. They're at the spot they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there, and it's just like a well-oiled ran machine. So that's just one of the things I just like about going into talk shows. And over the past couple of months, there's been tons of speculation about Wendy Williams' health. Dealing with early dementia, not being able to recognize people she knows, not being able to hold conversations, being bound to the wheelchair, and also like Wells Fargo requesting a conservatorship because they say that Wendy is the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. So this past Thursday, Wendy Williams did actually an interview with TJ Holmes on Good Morning America, but it was a phone interview and not on camera, not even in person, not even on Zoom. So like, what are y'all thoughts about that? Like, why a talk show host wants to do an interview, but she doesn't want to go on camera? What are y'all first thoughts about that? Nnemdia.
Well, I mean, if she is looking how she's feeling or how the world thinks she is, remember, she's someone who really brought shame to a lot of people for falling apart in the public or being embarrassed by things that happened. So I would think naturally she is now looking in her own mirror of being in the spotlight, an unwanted spotlight, a black cloud, like, if you will. And I would not want to be on camera either. I doubt if she has a makeup team at this point, and I don't even know if that it would help. So yeah, I think her opting out was the right thing to do.
Oh, okay. Gerald,
I'm sorry, was that a read? I'm sorry.
No, that was a read. It was absolutely a read.
To me, it's all about the message? What is the hidden messages that you're sending when you choose to do things like that? Now, I can understand the reasoning behind it, but the first thing that you're going to think, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? What are you hiding from us? Right? Wendy Williams is a public figure. She has established and maintained her career by being in the spotlight always, right? By bringing people to the spotlight. But now you're hiding behind a, not showing your camera. You're hiding behind a veil. So now the question becomes, well, what don't you want us to see? And I think that creates more speculations, and you don't want speculations in the hearts of the people, right? Because all imagination can go as far as, you crazy and you actually did this video while you were sitting in the G building at Kings County. Like we can go far with it. So you wanna show something. That's my take on it.
Right. And Renata, I'm gonna throw it to you, but I just want to say this first. So as I was watching the interview, TJ Holmes, one of the first questions he asked Wendy, he said, "Are you of a sound mind?" And she said, "Absolutely, I am. Are you?" And then he went on to ask, like, well, why would a bank want to basically restrict you from having access to your own money? And she kind of, well, actually another interesting thing, somebody, I guess an employee jumped in and kind of explained that Wendy's been wanting her son to become more active in her business and in the brand of Wendy Williams. And so she wanted her son to start attending meetings at Wells Fargo so he can learn about it and understand and know what's going on. But the person who handles Wendy's accounts at Wells Fargo's basically doesn't want that to happen because they'll lose access to our control over the accounts and also lose access to Wendy. So Renata, I'll throw this question to you because you're always about Black girl power. Do you think like someone is trying to create a narrative of Wendy Williams, a certain narrative of Wendy Williams in the media to, I don't know, like make her appear to be something that she possibly may not be?
That's an interesting question. Let me know if I start to Teddy Riley on y'all.
We will.
I know. I think that to Nnemdia's point, like if all of the speculation that has happened over the past few months and her ability to be glammed up would be necessary to finally appear on television, if the stories of her not answering her producers and not being accessible is true, she likely didn't have the capacity to be well put together for television. Although I am still regaining my credibility after the whole Jason Lee and Queen Elizabeth thing.
I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in you, Renata. I really was. Yeah. To our people, to our listeners, I was very disappointed.
She wanted to argue us down because Jason Lee was right.
I did not say that. I said that there is a great possibility that she could have passed from COVID at 90-something years old. Like, why is that ridiculous? But anyhow, yeah, so about Wendy, I think that they are definitely trying to create a new narrative than one that has happened before. And the thing that has now confirmed that for me is recently, I think it was either Friday show or Thursday show, Sherry mentioned like Wendy coming back. And it was like, well, how does that work? Because now Sherry has a show in the fall. So it's so weird, and I don't know what is happening, but I definitely believe that they are trying to create a new narrative around Wendy Williams and what is happening with her currently and what the plans are for the future and make her more credible again, I suppose. I don't know. But it seems like Black women are just in the forefront for all the wrong things lately. And I am wholeheartedly.
But not all Black women.
Not all Black women, but
right. Don't do that to yourselves.
Too many. Okay. Number one in this moment, because it has garnered a lot of media attention, but I don't think there's a lot of support around Brittany Griner and her current situation over in Russia. For those of you who are not familiar, Brittany Griner is a very prominent basketball player for the WNBA. She's a 2-time Olympic medal winner. She has garnered a number of titles and awards, and is well known. May arguably be like considered a Stephen Curry or Steph Curry or Michael Jordan, or as big as those players, but in the WNBA. And in Russia, at a Moscow airport, was detained back in February for allegedly attempting to smuggle vape pens and such narcotics that would be used with that. And the tricky part of this is that she is still currently detained and will be until May 19th, while Russia is currently invading the Ukraine. And the US is treading very lightly in how they are managing this situation as they manage potential World War III. And I think many people argue that the US should be trying to get her home because of her celebrity, and they should value her a bit more. But there's also this fact that she could have been smuggling these items, because there's been no denial or non-guilty plea on her part. And so I guess what I'm wondering is what you guys think. Is this something the U.S. should be standing for? Should they be fighting for Brittany to be her trial to be pushed up so she can be brought back to the U.S.? Gerald, what are your thoughts? You are a resident sportsman.
So he likes to think.
You know, I think that this has happened a few times before, when our stars go to other countries and they, I don't know if they feel like they are above the law or if they feel like they can get away with certain things. I don't know if you all remember that situation with one of the Ball brothers he stole something in another country, and he had to be detained, as he was detained as well, and they had to call in number 45 president to send some words. So my thing is this, right? I've been working on the concept of fame and character, right? Like the two has to align with one another, right? You are in the forefront. You're a superstar. Everyone looks up to you. You're an idol. There are just certain decisions that you should not make, right? As a superstar, right? Because your character should also follow your fame. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of us tend to miss, right? I believe that BG should be given a fair trial. I think that the United States of America, our government should always advocate for a fair trial. But my thing is, you're in the land of the Romans, and you got to do what the Romans do, and you got to follow the laws of the Romans. And I used to watch a show called Locked Up Abroad. You used to watch it too, Nim?
Yes.
Locked Up Abroad, and you want to be locked up in your own country. That's all I'm saying. If you want to be locked up in the United States. Don't be locked up in any other country. Right? And with everything that's going on right now, it's not a good time for anybody to be locked up in anywhere, especially Russia.
Russia.
And to that point, Gerald's point, they say that she has been seeing her lawyers daily. They say that she's doing okay. They provided her like books and things to keep her mind. But she is facing 10 years. So Maurice, what are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think this is a tricky situation, considering what is going on over in Europe now for the US. I think, unfortunately, the US might be more concerned about not having a World War III opposed to getting BG out of jail. So she kind of did the wrong thing at the wrong time, to be truthful. And also, I do want to just say this information is also coming from Russia. So you may want to also take that with a grain of salt. But to Gerald's point about not wanting to get locked up in a country that's not yours, I went to Germany and I was going to a gay club, and they would not let us in because of the color of our skin. And we started acting up. The people I was with, they started acting up. They end up calling the cops. I said, we got to get the hell out of here. In the US, the last thing I want to do is be locked up in Germany. And I got to, some way, somehow, Kim Kardashian's going to be tweeting, get Maurice Griffin out of jail. Get out of here. I said, and one of the people I was with, he was like, what is he going to do? What are they going to do to us? I said, I don't want to find out. Let's get out of here. But that's to Gerald's point. The last thing you want to do is be in jail, first of all, at home, but definitely not abroad.
And especially not Black and especially not gay.
Yeah, and to that point, Brittany is a Black woman. She is a lesbian. And so there's some thoughts around that being part of the reason she is being detained, and or that this could have been planted. That is a big thing in Russia. And so part of her, the process right now is an investigation into whether or not this is actually true. But again, she has not pleaded not guilty. There has been no word from her or her lawyer that it did not belong to her. But there is also currently an investigation happening as to whether or not this was planted. So that is
stick with that. That ain't mine. That ain't mine. I don't know where you got that from, but that ain't mine. Yeah, that's my bag, but that's not mine.
It's definitely not that easy, because I do watch a show where it's strictly about flying overseas and how they target. They don't necessarily target, but if they feel like, oh, this person could potentially be carrying something, they literally go through a rigorous process. And even if you're not guilty of something, like you would just drop from the pressure. I'm sitting at home and I'm watching, and everything in my body is numb. I'm anxious, and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to go to jail, and they didn't even do things. Now, a lot of people do things, so they treat everybody equally. So you seem to be guilty before proven innocent, and they go through this rigorous process. So if they did find it, because that's really what we don't know, that's actual factual, but if they did, then she has to be held to the law and held to the standard. And I'm just like, why? Don't you know that this happens? I wouldn't even bring a pencil like on an airplane. I'm so scared, and I'm just an innocent citizen flying from state to state. And I'd be petrified. What do I have that they can make it up and say that it's something that I'm doing illegal, something I'm transporting? Anything. It's a scary situation. So I do genuinely feel so bad for her. And this was really the wrong time for this to happen. And we know America is focused, is self-absorbed, and I don't know if they're going to really give two shits about what's going on.
I want to ask you this question now. If this was a white blonde girl, how do you think the politicians will be acting? Because to Renata's point, generally, most of the politicians, American politicians, have been muted on this issue. You do have a few, such as Texas Congressman Colin. He's basically saying he's working with the State Department to accelerate, her return back to the states and monitoring it. But you know how the media goes crazy when a white lady goes missing, but you have Black and Asian women who go missing, and they're missing for months, and it's not even covered in mainstream media. So how do you think? I guess we know how it probably would turn out, but do you think we would be handling it differently, the media coverage and also the politicians, if she was white and if she had blonde hair?
So, I honestly feel like this wouldn't even be a thing if she wasn't a basketball player. Like, we wouldn't even know about it if she wasn't a basketball player. Right. So, of course, I think race has a lot to do with a lot of things. But sometimes I think it's just the details and the facts at hand. She's a basketball player. So they're like, why aren't you getting our Black basketball player out of Russia, especially with what is going on? And if she did it, she didn't disappear. We know where she is. I think, was there at a time where they felt like we didn't hear anything from her? I'm not really sure. I don't want to speak too much on information that I don't really know. But I just think if you just look at the facts here, if she's a regular person, if it was me, nobody would give a shit that I was stuck in Russia, because I had some vape. They would be like, you're stupid. Why would you do that? Like, lock her up. It wouldn't even be a thought. That's how I feel about it. So I think that the actual facts is easier to focus on since do we even really have facts? Do we know if she did it? I don't know.
Because we have seen video, but what we're getting is coming from Russia. But Black women are always made a target. Like Ketanji Brown Jackson, Republicans are asking for like her LSAT scores. Like Black women, and no matter how accomplished they are, no matter basically almost what they do, for some reason they are always made a target. So anyway, I have nothing else to say.
To be honest, Brittany's an easy target. She's like 6'9" and Black. Sis, nah, that was a bad idea.
Another thing is, like, when you know this, wouldn't you take more of a precaution? Like when you know what I'm saying? Like for me, listen, when we blow up, because we're gonna blow up, we gonna make some money, we're gonna do
Come on now.
Right? I'm gonna put that out in the existence, choose the rock, blow up crazy. You think I'm gonna be going anywhere, drinking anything with anybody? I don't want none of that. No, I don't want anything. None of it.
You don't want your rocks.
But celebrities are human. Like,
will be truth on the water for me.
Right. Well, being human doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to use wisdom. The great thing about being human is you have choices to make. Right.
It's her first time doing that.
I'm not sure. So that does not help her case. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you got away with it multiple times and this time you didn't, and now the goal is for the America to get involved because you decided, damn, this time I got caught. I don't know. I just feel like I wish I knew for sure that she did it so I could speak more from that.
Yeah, everything.
But with just the facts, if it was just a regular person, nobody would care.
That is
they made a stupid decision.
What's interesting, and I'm not saying that this has to happen, but her wife's page, like, the tone was very much like, we wish this didn't happen to you. We need you to be home. We want you to come home soon, as opposed to justice for Brittany. She didn't do this.
Brittany would never, right.
Free Brittany. Right, the energy is very different, but I'm not saying that's the route they need to take. I'm just saying it's interesting that it's not. If this is something she did not do,
it's telling. It's very telling.
Yeah.
All right. So on a lighter note, okay, people getting locked up, back shots in cowgirl position. So Cynthia Bailey, right? Her husband was interviewing her, which I think it's just so cute, right? You get to come on your husband's show and he interviews you. But there was sort of like some truth question that she needed to answer. And her truth was that she does not like when he asked for her to do the cowgirl position. I thought that was so hilarious. And he could not believe it. He's like, I'm trying to keep my job. You can't say that on TV. But I'm just wondering, I'm glad that they have that relationship where she could say that on national television, but is there a such thing when you are in a relationship? Does your person kind of lose points for some of the things that they don't do, like the sexual positions that they don't do? And I'm gonna throw this to, I feel like Gerald, you always get it because you're the only straight man on the panel. So you can throw it to Maurice if you want. But what do you think about it? Does your significant other lose points for things she's like, I don't like that?
You know what? And I'll be abundantly clear on this. You
gotta go home tonight.
I should get my drink too.
You got to log off.
You only lose points, right? If you present a particular skill that you say that you have or that you think that you have, and you don't perform it in the way that it should be performed. That's when you lose points. Now, listen, if you trying something out or whatever the case is, you're new to it, you get grace. A man will give you grace. Grace is sufficient in that moment when you're trying something new. But don't come on the table and say, our reverse cowgirl is matched. And then all of a sudden it's like, that is whack. You lost points. Ooh. Right? So my thing to the ladies, right? Just don't speak on things that you're not really skilled on. You know what I mean? Just say it light. Just say, listen, I'm okay. I'm still working on stuff, right? And in that way, you don't lose points. but you do lose points.
So what if it's something that they're good at, but they don't like it? It's like, I don't really like that though.
Listen,
I know you like it. I know I'm good at it, but I don't really like it.
Everything I like, I'm good at. That's just what it is, right? Because that's why I like it, because I'm good. You know what I mean?
Your wife that question.
Is this a campaign? What is happening? But okay, all right, we're gonna have to move on.
But you know what? But you know, if look in the bedroom, it's a negotiation. It's you know, it's a back and forth. It's communication. It's conversation. Those things is what make bedroom life beautiful and amazing, right? So if she says, I'm glad that she was able to articulate that to her husband, because most women will do stuff and not necessarily like doing it, right? But they will just do it just to do it. Right. And again, men, we feel that. We know that. We know when you're just doing something just to do it. Don't just do something just to do it. Articulate what it is that you like to do and the things that you don't like to do. Right. So that the man is thoroughly prepared. Right. What messes up in bedroom life is the fact that we get caught off guard. Don't catch us off guard. Articulate what it is that you like to do, what it is that you don't like to do. So in that way, we're prepared.
Okay.
I
wasn't prepared for that answer, but okay. All right. So Ren, you have a situation and something that you really like. Your partner is like, I don't like that, and I'm not really willing to do it so much. Like, does that change how you feel about that person? Do they lose points? Does it change the dynamic of your relationship or even the relationship choice? Like, yeah, this might be a deal breaker for me. If you don't do that thing, if you don't do that thing like that,
there are definitely deal breakers, right? It's important to like be compatible sexually, and I imagine, especially people who are married, like that is an integral part to keeping this relationship thriving. I don't think that this should be like, I didn't see that clip with Cynthia and her husband, so I don't know if that came as a surprise to him, but I don't think that shouldn't have been the moment that it became that he became aware of that.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Like, I feel like in a relationship, a marriage, you all should discuss, like, this is what I like, and get to know what your partner likes. And even if you don't know how to do it, teach each other how to do it and show each other what pleases you, right? Like, if that doesn't happen, it just sounds like a recipe for disaster in the bedroom, or like boredom rapidly approaching, and that's never good either. I think for me, I'm clear on what I don't like, and I'm not going to do it ever.
And what don't you like?
Wait, don't ask that. No.
I'm just playing. And what don't you like? No, I'm just playing.
So
I don't like what you like.
I think that's a lie.
I don't like doing what you like to do.
And what do I like to do?
I don't know, but
I'm curious.
And what do I like to do?
Well, why don't you tell us?
What do you like to do?
What do you like to do?
What is something you don't like to do, Moses? What's something his name is Maurice. I'm sorry. Maurice, what is something you don't like to do? It's like, no.
Women. I don't like to do women. I think that clears it up. Simple. That's it.
That is
what else do you want to know?
I feel like okay, I'm gonna have to go back around. What is something you don't like to do, Gerald? Is there anything you don't like to do in your relationship?
It's giving whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry. All right.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, so segue into the thing.
Honestly, there isn't much that I don't like to do, like to my partner. It's just, I just feel like it's, like the bedroom is like, it's a canvas, we create in there,
Right.
whatever, a lot of things, we get down in there,
Should we just go into truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Ooh, child.
All right, you know what?
But now,
go into it.
You are the resident, along with Gerald, married person. So
Yeah.
we need your perspective.
I mean, I feel like you guys didn't give me a lot. I feel like I might be giving you too much. Because nobody answered like the actual question of what do you not like to do sexually?
I think I answered.
You said women, but I said, well, if you are with someone you want to be sexually involved with, what do you not like to do?
Okay,
well, let me be clear. I'm not doing anal. Okay, it turns me off. I'm not interested. Thanks.
Right, I think
are you not interested because it wasn't done right, or are you not interested because of you just not?
You see Gerald trying to get this tea.
Well, let me be clear. Let me be clear. If I with my husband, if we decide that there's something we want to try, and I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. Right now, I'm clear. I don't like it. Right. So if he somehow convinces me to try it, and I don't like it, it's not gonna happen again after that. There's not gonna be any convincing me that that's something I want to do again.
Right. And I feel like for me, well, what you won't do is pee and shit on me. Okay. So you would not do that. Outside of that, if I'm with somebody who I'm attracted to, I'm open to doing almost anything. So that's the key. Am I attracted to you sexually enough? I think that's the problem. But you would not pee or shit on me. You are no one else. Okay. So that is totally off. That's totally off for me. But anything else, and again, I think, I don't know who said it, but just like communication is key. Like, you gotta be, I think Gerald, like that's where you make your magic, or whatever. So like, and I agree with Renata, like, I think also because Cynthia Bailey gets a pass because she's also a reality star, but that is not something you should tell to your husband on television for the first time. Like, I would have been pissed. Like, why are you gonna tell me on television? Like, why would you? Yeah, I'm at work.
Well, he handled it very well. And Aaron Trey Stewart said, ain't nothing wrong with a little golden shower. So he don't know what you got against it. But
tell Aaron, no. Tell Aaron it's nothing wrong for him.
It's nothing wrong for you.
It's wrong for him.
It's nothing wrong for you. For me, it's just taking it. You cannot take it from me. I will. Don't take it. Don't try to like take it from me. I'm not interested in that. We can plan spontaneity. Like, it's like, we going out today. I'm planned already mentally in my mind. Like, we could probably pop off in this truck, but don't ever try to take it to me. You might really end up in a very violent situation.
That's called rape.
Well, no. Okay. Whoa. I don't want to take it there, but I'm saying, like, when you are married, your partner, so that's that's not going to happen. It can be a sort of spontaneity where it's like, take your drawers off, like, we about to do this right now, and I'm like, did you book an appointment? What are you talking about? Hours are from.
I'm not. Oh, no. I'm not on. No.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. No. So when I'm saying like try to take, I mean like coming grabbing me up and just like drapes in it, snatching off my drawers and stuff. Yeah, I don't really like that. I want to feel like I've given you permission to indulge in all of this good feminine energy. I don't want to feel like somebody's taking it from me, and that's it.
I feel like, I mean, I know we got to move on, but I feel like that will make you feel wanted.
Right.
I don't have that. I don't have an issue with feeling wanted. Why do I need you to drapes me up and try to take it from me to make me feel wanted? I think that's
you don't like spontaneity.
I like playing spontaneity.
You like what?
If it's planned, it's not spontaneous.
I like so. Here's what I consider planned spontaneity before you guys logically knock it down. I already know I woke up this morning. There's a potential my man is gonna want some ass at some point in this day. So I'm like, let me throw this on just in case something goes down. Or I know we're gonna take this ride out to maybe I'll do a little something while we do it. That to me, it's planned spontaneity. He may not know about it, but it's planned spontaneity for me. It's spontaneous. It's not something we're going to do all the time or we do all the time. But in my mind, I prepare myself just in case it happens.
So does he know certain things you wear are like a green light? Or like, how does he know when you were planning?
He doesn't, because I kind of like operate like that all the time. I'm 24 hours sensual person. I'm constantly touching, feeling, doing things that, this is just what I do. It's all day for me. Like it's all day. So no, he wouldn't just know like this is the opportunity or the moment. Maybe.
So that's just the thing. Like if you're 24 hours, you're on 24 hours, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't mean 24 hours to get it popping. I just mean like my sensuality is who I am. So I'm sensual all day long.
Right. So you're sensual. Like that's just who you are as a part of your identity. Right. Yeah. So what's wrong with him just coming and just putting you in the fiend and just, dropping you on the bed and just
it's just not something I prefer. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think anything's wrong with it.
No. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just asking.
You asking it like it was something wrong.
No. Well, there's something wrong with it. I'm saying there's something wrong with it. Y'all have to get it on sometimes when you don't want to.
Yeah, but so then again, I'm glad you said that, because you literally just said, if somebody takes it when you don't really want it, that's rape. But that's exactly what you just perpetuated at that same statement. Oh, you don't want to do it and your husband wants to do it. So you think women should just do it?
You said take. That's a little different from you having sex and not really wanting to do it. And you just finally give into it. But when you say take, to me, that sounds like force and like physical.
Well, some people thrive off of that. Like they like that. Like, oh, you want it? Take it from me then. And I'm just like, no, I don't prefer that order of service. I like it. I like to know what's about to go down. That's it. I just like to know.
Now that's respected. That's respected. Oh, you also that comment that Aaron Trey Stewart put up there. My man Aaron Trey was good.
Is that Aaron?
A little golden shower.
He's the one who said about the golden shower.
That's Aaron.
No.
That's another Aaron.
Aaron Trey. We know what it is.
That's another Aaron Renata.
I think that's G's friend.
Yeah, that's about
G's
friend. I'm asking, is that Aaron? No, not. Yes.
You're all cut from the same cloth.
I know Aaron.
Ain't nobody peeing on me. Goddamn. Listen, I don't know. I have definitely evolved and grown. But I don't want it when I don't want it.
Like I know that some women like to plug their man and stuff like that. Like you can't go around my booty, like what I mean, like that's just it's just not a spot, it's not a turn on or anything like that for me, so.
I think that comes from bad experiences, no lie. I think that there's so many ways. So first of all, I think that when you are in a relationship, what I've recently learned is,
bad experience. That's a very interesting point, Gerald. Bad experiences.
Well, I mean experiences where the individual that was doing it didn't take their time, didn't understand. Like, even if you're doing this, it is a sexual experience, and a sexual experience between two people should be pleasurable for both people. So that means it may take an hour for our experience if I'm doing it that way, and you got to take your time, because I don't feel like it should be painful. I feel like it should be pleasurable. But there's also ways to mitigate that through self-pleasuring, preparing the anal for yourself on your own terms, listen, we're gonna get into it. This is for the women who don't want to do it or feel like it's too much and it's a no-go. In relationships, I feel like now there shouldn't be no hard no's. There should be no hard no's. Everything should be open to conversation, figuring out how we can do this where it's pleasurable for both of us, or if it really is a hard no, but it shouldn't just be told that there's a hard no from either party. Because if I'd like to receive head, I don't want my man telling me no. I don't like that, because then where am I supposed to get it from? You're the only person who is providing this pleasure and source for me. Where am I supposed to go get it from if you're telling me no? So a hard no can cause a lot of problems sexually, but there are so many ways to mitigate things that you don't like, which once I found that out, I was like, oh, I can take over the world. I can do a lot of things. So I think with all things that you don't like or you're not willing to do, it's good to do some research, to talk to other people who do it and see, like, what's your experience? What did you do to make it easier, more pleasurable? Even if you and your mate aren't connecting sexually, you can find out, what do you like? Because I'm coming to the table with my experience, like, yo, I done knocked these other dudes out. My shit is popping. My man may be like, yo, I don't even like none of that. I don't like it, and vice versa. So it's a whole lot to explore. But I mean, I
need to have a conversation with your husband, a serious man conversation. We need to sit down and have, right? Because there's no prepping. There are hard no's.
I've given hard no's. This is growth within the past year. Okay, past year, couple of months, just being around other women who were like, nah, you can't do that. So you also need to surround yourself with people who are gonna call you out on your shit and be like, what? No, that's your husband or that's your wife. So that has been my experience, because I had hard no's for my reasons. But once I've explored other conversations and other things, it was like, I never thought about that. And again, if I'm the only person who can bring him, in a sense, this sort of pleasure, then why would I cut off the source? And I don't recommend being that bitch just like, oh, every time my man want it, I'm gonna do it. No, that's not who I am. That's not who I am. I want a whole experience myself when it happens. So make sure you're prepared and come to the table prepared. But I think that the conversations, like Maurice always says, communication, communicate it, and you can get to the next level.
I want to hear Renata's response to that.
While Nem was talking, I was trying to figure out if I was frozen. But
you saw all the facial expressions.
So she wasn't listening, in other words.
No, but I was. And here's the thing that I want to say about this is, what came to mind is, in the relationship prior to marriage or early on in the marriage, right? We should have at that point already established what we like or don't like. And so now is this area of like where it becomes gray and dislikes start to emerge because we are trying new things, or someone has a new talent, because then I'm concerned about where this new talent came from and what inspired it and why I'm now subjected to it. And so yeah, that's what I thought about.
Maurice, do you have anything to add before I say something else?
No, you said enough for all of us.
Well, listen.
You dropped enough tea with your straight liquor. Look, this is Gerald. You can just go ahead and do what you got to do.
Well, listen, and I'll end it with this. Once again, in the bedroom, whatever you decide, whatever you communicate and decide is safe and healthy and happy in the bedroom, go forth and do it. Absolutely. If your thing is golden showers, if your thing is anal, if your thing, whatever your thing is, do that thing and do it well. So here's to yet another edition, right? Truth on the Rocks. All right. Please remember to like, share, and follow our social media pages. And we'll be back with another episode on Sunday, April 3rd at 8 p.m. Be there at 8 p.m. because you never know what we're going to talk about. You never know how this show is going to go. We're entirely off script, right? Right? But we love it. We love it. We love talking to you guys. We love when you guys interact with us, and just continue to like, share, follow. Drop in your comments, questions, whatever you want to know, whatever you want to see happen here. It's an open forum, babies. So, yeah. And once again, when your truth gets too, what is it? Too rough? Too uncomfortable?
Too difficult, honey.
Too difficult. There it is.
Too alcohol friendly.
Right. Have it on the rocks and have it responsibly.
Yes.
I can't with y'all.
What did